Why millennials' outlook for retirement is worse than older generations. Oh no. What? Here's CNBC comes at us with a dateline February 9th, 2024. What? Come here then. Come here. Pablo wants to say hello. And oh, there we go. So here comes the knuckleheads. Yeah, look at them. There they go. There we go. Now that's entertainment, my friends. That is pure entertainment that you will not find anywhere else. My name is Pablo. I live on the second floor. I'm Stone Pablo. Just close the door. All right. So here we got CNBC. If I can get to it. There we go. And right here we got the cliched black lady, the light-skinned black with the puffy hair like that. Just all these. The white media loves to show how diverse they are with that the same look of their person of color. It always cracks me up. It's so cliched. By some measures, millennials lag on retirement preparedness and net worth relative to older generations, such as my generation, Gen X, and baby boomers. There are many reasons for this, such as the shift away from pensions toward 401k plans. Come on, dude. Are you kidding me? That's one of the reasons millennials are lagging behind, because the shift. Dude, what is this whole infatuation with pensions? It drives me insane. High student debt burdens, yeah, absolutely. However, there are many reasons for optimism, such as advances in 401k plan design. Oh my, come on. This is so, the 401k plan designs makes it better than the plan design what? My goodness. We see right here, millennials, a cohort born from 1981 to 1996, are the nation's largest adult generation. They'll be between 28 and 43 this year. I'm Gen X, born 1970. All right, baby boomers from 1946 and 1964. So here we go. About 38% of millennials, those born in the 80s, will have inadequate retirement income, according to an urban study. So freaking tough. By comparison, 28 to 30% of late boomers and 35% of the cool generation are projected to have inadequate retirement income. And how? How do we get in this? How do we get in this? Well, let's see here we got. The urban study measures income inadequacy in two ways. Either the inability to replace at least 75% of one's pre-retirement earnings. And they attribute that to a decline in living standards. So if you can't replace 75% of your pre-retirement earnings, that is a decline in your living standards. How freaking stupid is that? It's so dumb. I'm trying to follow Owen Benjamin and be March Gladness and not be negative. I'm trying to, because he's been harping on March Gladness, not March Madness, but March Gladness. But I just tell you, this is so freaking stupid. 75% of one's pre-retirement earnings. My pre-retirement earnings are the most I ever made in my life. Let's say $100,000. So they're going to say I'm inadequately retirement. I have inadequate retirement if I don't have $75,000 a year to replace that. Oh my goodness, it's just so stupid. I hate it. Not going to lie to you. And then the other way they measure it is not being able to meet basic needs by being in the bottom quarter of the annual U.S. average wage. Why? Let me get myself here. Why would the average wage being right here again? They're going to say you'll fail for your retirement if you're in the bottom quarter of the annual U.S. average wage. Why would the average wage have anything to do with my retirement preparedness? It's so dumb that if I'm working inherently, I'm not retired. All right. So why compare a retiree for someone in the bottom quarter of the average wage? That's just so dumb. Early millennials of color, those who aren't married, and individuals with little education, lifetime limited earnings are in an especially precarious position, according to the Urban Report. We got to focus on those. Don't forget illegal immigrants too. Don't forget illegal immigrants and the homeless, by the way. They're not adequately prepared for retirement, so we better tax you. In a paper right here from the Center for Retirement Research at Boston College, the National Risk Index, what the hell they call it, Retirement Risk Index, will say the same thing. All right, let's see right here. The primary reason for the wealth gap, according to Boston College, is student loans. All right, well then freaking tax the debt foundations to pay off their student loans. This is what I don't understand. It's like the for-profit colleges. How about the non-for-profit colleges, man? If the student loans are the reason there's this wealth gap, then freaking go after the people who benefit from the student loans. It's the Harvards. It's the freaking Yales, the Vanderbilts, all these people, man. Go after them. It's insane. But no, we're just going to waive your student loans Not if you're, the whole thing's so stupid, man. I just so nuts. More than 42% of millennials have student debt. Oh, by the way, it's not like they didn't sign the dotted line, too. I just hate to say, I know this is going to drive people crazy. You took on the debt. No one put a gun to your head and said, you will go study this freaking art school in New York City. You took that on. And now that you can't find work, don't say no one didn't tell you. Maybe they didn't tell you 25 years ago, but they're certainly telling you now, man. You took that debt on. Household wealth for the typical millennial household was about 3/4 of that of Gen X of the same ages. Despite millennials having more. Oh. Whoa. What? Wait a second. Household wealth for the typical millennial household was about 3/4 that of Gen X, despite millennials having more home equity and larger 401k balances? Does that make any sense? Household wealth for the typical millennial was 3/4 that of Gen X, but they have more home equity and larger 401ks. So what happens with the more home equity and the larger 401ks? What happens to the student loans? What happens to net worth? That's a negative? Student loans are really taking a dent out of millennials' net worth right now. And then, ironically, why pensions provided more security. Let's see. While older workers with access to work-based retirement plans relied on pension for income, workers today largely have 401ks. Pensions started going away in the mid-90s, says this guy from EBRI. What are you talking about? They didn't start going away in the mid-90s. They started going away after ERISA. Gen Xers were starting to... pensions give a guaranteed income stream for life with contributions, investing, and payouts managed by the employers. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to worry. We'll take care of it all for you. 401k plans offload that responsibility onto workers who may be ill-equipped to manage it. You only went to a state college. You didn't go to Harvard. And then stupid Copeland right here. While workers can potentially amass a larger nest egg with a 401k, the big issue is that benefits don't accrue automatically as with a pension. No, they compound is what happens. The old pension system didn't work for everybody, but it provided more security than the 401k system does today, says the Copeland from EBRI. And I love EBRI. That guy's just wrong. 100% wrong. As I talked about in previous videos and posts about ERISA, what was the beginning of ERISA, what caused ERISA was not the security that pensions provided. Idiotic. Anyway, so I came across this. And this is from my man Kevin Drum, who's a big lip. He hates Trump, hates right-wingers, doesn't like Christians. But he's one of those nominally fair-minded libs. Millennials have suddenly become the wealthiest generation. That's weird. So let's look at this from the Federal Reserve. Let's take a look, shall we? Millennials and older Gen Xers, Gen Zers, made significant wealth gains in 2022. Younger families in the U.S. made remarkable gains in median wealth, according to consumer financial data. What did their wealth look like relative to where we expected it is? In other words, how did their level of wealth compare with the estimated inflation adjusted by other generations? We found the median wealth, 50% have more, 50% have less, of older millennials is set 37% above expectations. The wealth of younger millennials was a similar 39% above similar expectations. What makes the wealth number so notable is that we represent a sharp change from recent years ago. 6 years, we published a similar analysis using data from 1989 through 2016, and we looked at the Great Recession had on young families. Older millennials had a median wealth that was 34% below expectations in 2016, but now again we're 37% above expectations now. What made that? At the time, we wondered if these older millennials would be part of a lost generation. 3 years later, in 2019, thanks, Trump, they began to catch up with other generations. But their median wealth was still 11% below. So what happened? In real terms, median wealth of younger people more than quadrupled to $41,000 over the 3-year time frame from 2019 to 2022. What happened? Younger generations may reveal primary factors behind their extraordinary wealth. Right here, the real value of different types of assets changed relative to total assets. Between 2019 and 2022, total assets for those born in 1950, hold on a second. Drove this increase is the real value of housing assets. Between 2019 and 2022, the home ownership rate jumped from 18 points from 54 to 72% for the group born in the 1980s. Similarly, the rate for the cohort born in the 1990s jumped 22%. Over this period, home prices appreciated considerably. Therefore, the home owned by these groups may have gone up in value since they were purchased, driving both home equity and wealth higher. Yep, the home assets up. And remember, this is wealth gains. Median wealth. I'm not sure if it's net worth, but most likely you have a lot more equity in your home now than you did 3 years ago. The equity, I know I do for a fact. That equity can be used for a million different things. You can sell your house, you can borrow against it, you can freaking take a reverse mortgage, you keep paying down your mortgage, you have a house that's live free, so you have rent, essentially rent that you don't have to pay for. What's that? The terminology we used? Phantom, it's not phantom rent. I forgot what it's called, but there's a term in economics used for not having to pay rent once your mortgage is paid. That's a big deal. So all these idiots saying, millennials, oh my goodness. Nah, dude, once your debts are paid, you're on a freaking easy street. You slowly but surely pay off, like we all had to do. We all had debt up here. We all had to start going down and down and down. And once it's paid off, guess what, baby? You got the golden ticket. Just keep plugging away. All right, God bless. Love your thoughts. We'll see you